A DMO is not focusing only on travelers. A DMO should be approaching 5 different audiences. Which are they? Of course, the main audience of a DMO are consumers. This is a traveling public. So we need to implement marketing activities in order to make our destination better known among travelers, you know? However, this is only part of the job we need to do as DMOs. A DMO should also approach the travel trade, the so-called travel trade. What is travel trade? Travel trade comprises businesses that organize and sell travel, such as tour operators, including both major mainstream tour operators and specialist tour operators, travel agencies, online travel agents, OTAs, incoming agencies, cruise operators, PCOs, the professional congress organizers, destination wedding planners, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so it's an important part of the job that a DMO has to do is to approach also those businesses that organize travel for millions of travelers. We need to position our destination within their offerings. A third audience we should approach is media. We want to secure positive media coverage of our destination. You know, we want travel magazines to write great travel stories about our destination. We want to be positioned in travel shows or in Sunday newspapers. Many Sunday newspapers have, you know, a part about travel. We want them to write about our destination. So there's traditional media. We want to cover our destination. And nowadays, lately, there are also the social media influencers. Some of them can truly create a positive impact. Not all of them. Some of them can truly create a very good impact for our destination. So this is an important part of a DMO's job, to create publicity and exposure for our destination in both traditional and traditional media and social media. Also, not to neglect local population. It's important for a DMO that the local population knows what it is doing. It's important that the residents know that there's an organization working in order to bring in more prosperity, more income to the region. Therefore, we need to create some publicity also in local media, so that there's awareness among locals about the mission and the work done by a DMO. And lastly, the fifth audience a DMO should approach are stakeholders, politicians, and authorities. Why? Because they are who decides what our budget is going to be. So DMOs need to work hard in order to secure their budget, to have sufficient budget to do their marketing activities. So how does what I just said look in practice? So for instance, this is the site of the Croatian Tourist Organization, the National Tourist Organization. So if you go to their website, you will see that they have this menu. This is the main menu of the website with information for travelers, for the traveling public. However, this is not the only information on this site. As you can see, this menu connects to this tab called tourism. In addition to that, there is also a separate tab, a separate section within the website aimed at the media, as you can see, press, which contains information that this DMO distributes specifically to journalists, to travel writers. So in this section, travel writers are going to find all the information they need in order to write a story, an article about Croatia. And there's also an additional section in this homepage under the business tab, which contains information specifically for the travel trade. So if you are a travel agent or tour operator and are thinking of you're sending your customers to Croatia, you go there and you're going to find practical information that the travel professional needs in order to see how to organize a trip to Croatia. Or another example, this is from a local DMO, the tourism organization, the DMO of the city of Frankfurt in Germany. So on their site, on their tourist website, we see the main menu with information for travelers. In addition to that, there's information for the travel trade, for meeting planners or congress organizers, and the media, press. So this is how we organize the way we communicate with the outside world. And as I said, lobbying is also an important part of a DMO's job. Even a ministry needs to lobby the prime minister or the president to give sufficient funds for marketing. Okay, so we need to convince stakeholders, we need to convince decision makers that investing in tourism marketing is money well spent, that this is going to help the country, boost the economy. So we need knocking on doors all the time in order to secure decent funding for our marketing activities. This is an example of how this is done. For instance, this is communication of a DMO. This is from a local DMO in the United States, from Kosciuszko County in Indiana. This is, a communication aimed not at the tourist market, but at the local population, to show how much tourism is helping the local economy and how the DMO is helping bring in all those financial benefits. It says that it's a small destination. Yes, because of tourism, we are supporting through tourism 1,900 jobs. Visitors to our county are spending money from which many sectors are profiting. They are spending money on food, on attractions, on shopping, on lodging. Lodging is the American term for accommodation, transportation, souvenirs. So keep attracting tourists because many sectors are going to profit from that. And there's overall, the local industry gains $162 million in total, and out of that $162 million in dollars, we gain $38 million in tax revenues. So this is how a DMO is doing its lobbying to convince, local decision makers that it's worth continuing to fund and to support the local DMO. So let's have a look at some key trends in destination marketing. We can describe the tourism marketing as a continuum. On one end of this continuum, we can find the price-sensitive market. People who want to travel but who do not want to spend too much money, who are looking for good deals, for affordable, for cheap travel, who are looking for the lowest possible price to fly to a place or for accommodation to stay. In this market segment, we see this quite strongly in Europe. I don't know if this is the case also in Asia, but in Europe this is very clear, is that travelers belonging to this part of the market are looking at destinations, especially Mediterranean destinations, as substitutable products. So they really don't care about Greek culture, Greek history, Greek traditions. They're coming to Greece because it's cheap. If they would find a better price in Turkey, in Egypt, or in Tunisia, be sure they are going to go there. So they are looking a place where it's warm, it's near the sea. They don't even, swim in the sea. They just want to have the sea, to look at the sea while swimming in a pool. Okay, so they want a place with a pool where it's warm, where there's sun. If you can give it to them at a cheap price, they don't care where they are going to go. So this is a very large part of the market. And they are very, open to last-minute offers, discounts, etc., etc. So on the other side of this continuum, There is what I call the quality market, which has to do, with luxury, with authentic travel experiences, with active holidays, people not sitting for 7 days by the pool, but people go out into the mountains, into the forest, trekking, biking, scuba diving, etc. People who want to do things during their holidays. And then, of course, there is a specific category of travelers, which we call money-rich, time-poor travelers. What are they? These are people who are quite successful in their professional lives, who make good money, but who do not have the time to enjoy this money. Because they are busy, they have many things to care of, many responsibilities, etc., etc. So they cannot spend much time for their vacation. They have a bad conscience because they have neglected their beloved ones, their family, their kids, because they are all day, working. So when they manage to find a few days to get off, then they start spending lots of money in order to compensate for the limited time that they have. So these kinds of travelers, they are looking for very intensive, very filled travel experiences. So this is about, these are about the two extremes of the market. There used to be life in between. But as things develop, I've been following, the developments in the tourism marketing since the 90s. What I feel is that it's getting empty here. That it's a growing polarization of the market. So that travelers go either this direction or that direction. And we, as destination marketeers, need to be aware of where the trend is, so that we can properly position our destination and aim at the most appropriate markets for our destination. Any comment or any questions you would like to make? Okay. So what we are seeing lately, that tourists are becoming more experience seeking. They don't want just to go and see the sights, or just sit by the pool. They want to engage in experiences. People used to want to taste some local food. Now they want to participate in cooking lessons. They want to learn how this is done. Travelers are becoming more sensitive towards environmental issues. So destinations not taking good care of their environment are being punished by travelers. There's bad publicity. There are people boycotting those places. Don't go there, they don't respect their environment. I've heard this many times being said by travelers. And tourists are also becoming more health conscious. They want to feel that they are taking care of their health during their travel. They are eating, they are become more considerate in what they eat, in what they do during their holidays. Therefore, it's important that you cater to those needs. Travelers want to continue their diet, or travelers are not eating or not eating this or not eating that. We need to be aware of this. And because of these trends, we are seeing new products coming on the market. For instance, eco-luxury. Luxury not with expensive chandeliers and marble, tons of marble, but another form of luxury highlighting local materials, local spirit, more sense of place, more authentic experiences. But this is an important trend. If you want to attract luxury travelers, people who are willing to spend a lot of money for unique experiences. It's not that much about driving them around in a Rolls Royce, but offering them a unique insight into the destination that they are visiting. Another growing trend is the so-called 100-mile diet. Do you know this concept? Have you heard about the 100-mile diet? Okay, let me explain this. I live in Europe, in Greece. Greece produces very tasty asparagus. And now it's asparagus season in Greece and in Southern Europe. If I want to eat asparagus during winter, let's say not now in April, but in November, I can find asparagus. But it will be imported from Peru, from halfway around the globe. So this out-of-season asparagus is going to have an enormous carbon footprint. So there's going to be, you know, a much higher consumption in fuel to transport this asparagus to the end consumer. It needs to be transported, to be refrigerated for many weeks or many months. So the environmental impact of this kind of consumption is enormous. As we are becoming, you know, more conscious and more responsible towards the environment, we as hotel operators or restaurant owners, we are trying to minimize this impact. How do we achieve this? You know, by offering food that is based on ingredients being produced locally within a 100-mile radius. So a growing number of restaurants is promoting that they are offering this 100-mile diet. They are cooking only with ingredients that are locally grown and are in season. Because this way we have the smallest impact on the environment, the cost of the food in season is much lower, and it tastes better. If you eat a fruit or vegetable in its peak season, it has the best taste. So, other trends, farm to table, this is very popular in Europe. So when you are eating at a restaurant or in a hotel, they are telling you where this product is coming from. They are telling you, you know, this is from our own farm, or this is from a farm, you know, which is, you know, 5 kilometers from here. You can see the gardens over there. Or nose to tail. Do you know this concept, nose to tail? It's another way of, you know, cooking responsibly. If you are going to kill an animal, it's quite irresponsible to throw things away. We don't throw things away, you know? We don't kill an animal just to get, you know, the better parts of the meat, you know, only this part of this part which is more tender. You need to cook everything. We throw nothing away, from nose to tail, okay? For instance, you can make great dishes with pig's nose. Do you cook pig's nose, the pig's head? In Myanmar, in Europe, or the tail? Excellent, you can make an excellent soup out of the tail. Okay, we throw nothing away. So anyway, these are trends. These are products coming on the market as a reaction to these trends. And this keeps developing and developing all the time. Another major trend, I'm sure you are aware of it, is the growing importance of digital technology. And digital technology is impacting us both in regard to destination marketing. Nowadays we are using our websites and our social media presence to aggressively promote our destination. And we are also using digital technology within the destination. So for instance, mobile phone apps, smartphone apps, are a traveler's best friend. You know, you have everything, every information you need at your fingertip. So it's very helpful to organize trips by utilizing digital technology. Therefore, nowadays when I'm talking about marketing planning, this is the rule to adhere to. Mobile first. Anything you do at your business and anything a DMO does for the destination in regard to marketing must follow this motto, mobile first. Whatever we do, we need to have a very strong presence on the internet, optimized even for the smallest screen. We want somebody to use their smartphone as a travel planning tool. And if we are talking about marketing, successful marketing, it all boils down to word of mouth. whatever we do, if we cannot secure positive word of mouth for our product, our business, or our destination, we have achieved nothing. Okay, this is where we left off. So, how is word of mouth nowadays being done? How do we communicate? What do we mean by word of mouth? You know, people talking positively about the product. This is word of mouth. You know, I go someplace. Yesterday we went to a very nice restaurant. We had a great meal, and I'm sharing this experience. Say, I had a terrific meal. You should go there. It's a great place. This is word of mouth. Or when I'm going back to Europe, be sure that I'm going to speak very enthusiastically about Myanmar. So this is my word of mouth. I've been to Myanmar, an amazing place. Okay, this is word of mouth. How is word of mouth being done nowadays? Sorry? It's done nowadays on social media. Okay, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc. This is why we are talking in marketing about electronic word of mouth. So we as destination marketing organizations should be aiming at achieving electronic word of mouth for our destination in the widest possible way. So this is also a major priority for a destination. And how do we achieve that? So what do we want to achieve? We want to transform content consumers, such as us here in this room, you know, reading, let's say, a travel article in a magazine, okay? We want to transform those passive content consumers into content producers. So, you know, putting our own content in the social media and talking positively about the specific place. So, when I do some Facebook posts about my trip to Myanmar, then I'm becoming content producer. Okay, this is what we want to achieve through our marketing activities. So how do we get to the point that others talk about us in a positive way? Well, first of all, we want to gain personal recommendation by offering a great travel experience. So the first step to achieving positive electronic word of mouth is by having satisfied visitors. We need to make sure that visitors to this country are experiencing high quality of services, are having a great experience. So we need to work on all the quality details that are crucial for somebody enjoying the trip to this country. Secondly, we need to produce the proper content which is useful, original, provocative, or fun. I'm going to show you some examples, you know, of promotional videos. So the work of a DMO is to make sure that visitors leave this country satisfied, and to produce content about this country. You know, great photos, great stories, great videos that can be easily shared over the internet, and especially over the social media. So this is the job to be done by DMO. Any questions so far? Or a comment you would like to make? Please feel free to interrupt me at any moment.